season, and it begins the #1 team in the country. What does a tough test like that set you guys up for going into the season?
You know, for us, it's just honestly, it's another game, and it's why we came out here to Fresno State. It's a rivalry. It's always something that we kind of expect. If you look through the history and go to the College World Series, that's always been the team that we always come up against. So for us, we're going to go and face it as an opportunity for us to go and face the #1 team in the country, see where we're at, see where they're at, and just use it to kind of propel us throughout the season.
Where you guys are at is receiving some votes in some national polls. What does that mean to you going into the season? Is it something that you've discussed with the girls?
You know, for us right now, we're really just focused on getting better every single day. You know, it's a long season. It's 56 games. We're going to play all of them, obviously if weather permits. And, you know, for us, it's winning conference. So getting to those last 24 games, you know, we've been so close these last couple of years. And our job right now is to really finish well, try to win it all, and more importantly, just get to postseason and put ourselves in a position to continue that tradition that we have here at Fresno State.
You see starting on the road for so many games consecutively as maybe a positive in that this team can come together and bond and learn how to win on the road?
We like to obviously try to come and play at home in February. You know, we had a tough time scheduling and couldn't really land that home tournament. For us, though, I think it allows us to kind of take our show on the road and be able to see how we really are. When you get into postseason play, when you get into conference, road games are the hardest games to win. So we're going to kind of use this opportunity to see how quickly we can figure things out. And then we still have our same schedule of when we come home. We still get, I think, about 30 games at home, which is always going to be great for us. But it's a true test, especially for our young kids, to be able to play on the road, get on the road, and get comfortable there.
Against a team like UCLA really just set the tone for the season?
You know, you get to go against one of the best pitchers in the country, if not one of the best players in the country. She represents USA, and for us, you know, we have a game plan, and we're going to try and do everything we can to execute, put ourselves in a position to win and score runs. We know our job, runs are going to be at a premium, and ways that we can kind of propel us to do those sort of things is going to be great for us. But for us, honestly, it's finding ways to get better every day. So as much as we are playing the #1 team in the country, for a lot of us, it's our opening day, and we're excited. They're going to be excited as well. There's jitters on both sides. You're going to have new people that haven't played, and we're just going to have to dial the game back down. We'll be on the island, so time and everything's going to be a little bit different for everybody. So we're just going to kind of use all of that, hopefully, to put us in a position to win a ball game.
And what do you know about Bubba Nichols? Like, she's a Valley kid, homegrown. Just what do you know about her style of play out there?
She's competitive. You know, that's one thing that she's always done. She's super competitive. She has a high skill set. She's always been able to drive the ball. And anybody who comes from the Valley, we know, is blue-collar work ethic. So I think there's something to be said about that. So we're going to kind of go and match that same kind of blue-collar work ethic and take it to them Fresno State style.
And speaking of Danielle Long, Clovis High product, what do you see her role being this year as a freshman?
Danielle Long has an amazing ability. She throws hard. Her balls naturally move. And so one of the biggest attributes that she has is she's been in Margie Wright Diamond in front of a big crowd, and she's played in front of 1,200 people, and she has 3 Valley championships. So being in this stage, I think that part is going to be more comfortable. However, she has to still go through the transition that it takes from being a high school pitcher into that next stage and into that top 25, top 15 level pitcher. And so, you know, thankfully we have 4 years to kind of grow it, but she's excited, she's ready for the ball. But I definitely think there's going to be ups and downs, and our job is to put her in positions that she can be successful.
Do you think it's going to be time for her to not be the everyday girl that she's used to being?
Yes and no, because the game is so much more mentally exhausting, honestly, at this level, and I think she's realizing that. So you almost need the breaks to recover and get back focused for what that next outing is going to be. So for her right now, I don't think it's going to be, other than if when there's a bad performance, you kind of want that ball the next day right away to kind of rebuild off of it. And so I do think for her, that part is going to be of taking advantage of the opportunities that she gets. But I think she finally, for the first time, has help. And when you're a pitcher, just like baseball, to be able to have a support staff is going to be major for our success.
And Danielle E., she gets to learn from someone who's just there, went through the same stuff. She's not, you know, a senior. That's got to help with her development, I'm sure.
Both Danny East and Haley Dolcini are transfer. Both of them have over 150 innings of experience. Both of them are all conference performers. Dulcini was an all-regional performer. She was able to have one of the top ERAs in California. And so she's going to be able to, I think, really lead and mature along with Danny East and help Lung, I think, develop and take like the pressure off of her. I think that's the biggest thing. But you know what? They're all three young. You still have 2 sophomores. You have 1 freshman. But all of them are used to being the number 1, and that puts us in a position in conference that's going to, I think, separate us from other teams.
Well, how much flexibility is it for you guys to have a lefty and a righty?
It's a game changer. Whenever you have the lefty, you just have lefty-lefty matchups that a lot of people, if you play the system well enough, the lefty allows you to stay into a game a little bit longer. It's not a common thing that you have. It's no different than in baseball. When you have somebody that throws from that left-hand side, it can keep a team in a ball game. And so one thing with Danny East, she has a lot more movement than last year. She's working her butt off to continue to grow her game. And so our job right now is to figure out what her best role is. Is she potentially always going to stay the starter? Is she better at a middle reliever? Is she better as a closer? Because we have that availability with her being left-handed.
And on the offensive side of the ball, what do you expect from this team to produce in games?
You know, whenever you can return, you know, Haley Galvin, you know, Vanessa Hernandez and Rachel Minogue, I think it puts us in a pretty darn good position with where we are. We can hit the long ball. Kelsey Carrasco, another Valley player that's been transferring in, she hit, I think, almost 17 home runs over at Michigan State, and she is definitely familiar with being able to hit the ball long and far. Mackenzie Wilson does a great job of finding ways to get on base. She's super fast. She's going to be fun to watch. And then you have Miranda Roletter as well as Caitlin Jennings that just do a great job of finding ways to get on base and do great things. So our goal always is find ways to score runs, get on base and be scrappy. We led the country last year in getting hit by pitch, and we don't seem to be getting away from any pitches in practice. So we're going to kind of use that old-fashioned blue-collar work ethic mentality. We're going to grind at the plate. Our goal is to put 5 to 6 runs across the board in every game.
And you personally, as a coach, you know, a couple seasons in, how comfortable are you, you know, within this program?
I know who our players are now, and they know who I am. They know what the expectations are, and I love being a Bulldog. I think there's one thing that is here is that you guys support, the community supports. This is a great time to be a Fresno State Bulldog with all of the success with basketball, with football, even volleyball. And so, you know, for us right now, we're going to kind of keep that tradition rolling. And, you know, we've been fortunate enough to be kind of one of the main sports that's been able to get to the NCAA tournament and win conference championships. And our goal is to continue with that success and keep that going and do our job for Fresno State and win championships.
Linda.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I apologize, I walked up toward the end of the pitching conversation, but
Yeah.
Did you say, do you have an idea of what you want to do with a Friday starter, a Saturday starter?
You know, I think it's still too early in the season to kind of see who starts out of the gate really well. They're young, and with that sort of not a lot of experience, I definitely think you're going to see a lot of rotation type stuff going on early. One of the best things that I think Coach Cox, who is our pitching coach, works with is trying to figure out what's the matchups. So you go through, you scout opponents, and you figure out what are the matchups. You know, is this a team that doesn't do well off of a high pitch? Is this a team that doesn't do well off of a low pitch? And then we match them up with our pitcher that best utilizes that. And then trying to figure out within our staff who does the best job of closing. You know, in our sport, sometimes the last 3 outs become the hardest 3 outs. And so if we can find somebody who has the grit and determination to be able to make the pitches when we need to, that's going to be something that I think is going to be the difference maker for us winning a conference championship this season.
And apologies one more time, but if you answered this already, how much do you anticipate Danielle Lung throwing as a freshman?
Oh, she's definitely going to get the ball. I mean, we have 3 pitchers right now on roster. All of them are capable of over 100 innings. All of them are capable of 10 to 14 wins, each of them. And so with that, you know, our job is really trying to do the matchup. She's going to get the balls this season, no doubt, as well as the other 2. And we're in a position that we have some safety nets, that we have people that can be in the ball games for a long time. And that's a good thing for us right now, because we didn't have that last season.
You have 2 Vanessa Hernandez's on the team.
We do.
How are you handling that?
One is Big Ness and one is Little Ness. We don't really change it from that. They have the same middle initial, which makes it even difficult to kind of do everything. And they have similar personalities. The best part is one plays infield and one plays outfield. So usually when you're working with a specific group, you're okay. They're a fun group to be around, and I just think it's neat to be able to share something like that. It's fun. We have a ton of Haleys as well. And so for us, you just say a name and you just hope the right one shows up when you call it.
And Little Ness, another freshman, how much do you anticipate her playing this year?
She's been doing a good job for us. She's competing right now for the shortstop position, and she's been finding ways to get on base. I think she has a ton of athleticism and some game savviness. She's definitely young. The hardest hole that we're going to have to fill is at that shortstop position. I think losing Katie Castellan, just when you have a veteran that was able to do what she was able to do, it's just going to be a tough transition for any shortstop that comes in, and that's just part of the process as a coach. It's no different than Marcus Marion no longer being the quarterback, and you have to go through gaining some experience for a new quarterback. That's just the way it works, and that's the way our style of play is. And us as a coaching staff know going into the season that's a position we're going to have to continue to develop day by day.
And Coach, when it comes to conference play, you guys finished third. You guys are right there. What do you guys need to do this year to get the title?
We need to execute when we need to. When we need to win series and sweep people, we need to sweep them. When we have the lead, we need to stay in the lead. And I just don't think we had a lot of experience with that. And we didn't have yet a pitcher that knew how to make those sort of pitches when we needed to, or to get the big hit when we needed it. And so we've been spending all off-season as well as all preseason putting us in positions to be mentally prepared, mentally tough, and to just be in that situation that when we're in the lead, we need to be able to win it. And that whether that's in the lead for conference play and the lead of a game. But our goal right now is to figure out how to finish and to finish on top. That's the goal all season, and we talk about it. We're not afraid of it. It's an expectation, but we came here all to Fresno State to be a champion, so that's why we're here.